Hey guys, it's Celeste with Lazy JX Ranch Homeschool. Charlie's just sitting in the pool, so we are just sitting outside watching her. So I just wanted to kind of give you an overview of the beginning of our homeschool. Today was day 2. It's 2:20 and we are done. I have an 11th grader and a 10th grader, and they did 2 electives, a math, a language arts, a science, and a history, and Charlie's in 2nd grade. And like I said, we were done by 1 o'clock, 1:30. We were done by 1:30 completely. So, yeah. My high schoolers, their math, language arts, well, okay, I gotta take that back. So my 11th grader, her language arts she's doing the Good and the Beautiful, high school language arts year 1. And like I said, today was day 2. But her math, her history, and her science is through BJU Press. My 10th grader, her math, language arts, history, and science is through BJU Press. And Charlie, her math and language arts for 2nd grade is through the Good and the Beautiful. And then the electives were done through Campfire Curriculum and Red-Headed Hostess. So yeah, I mean, they had a pretty heavy course load. Yesterday we were done by like 12:30, but it was day 1. So a lot of it is just introductory, giving the kids just a introduction to the curriculum. So I didn't expect yesterday to last very long. But today, is when they really get into the work. So yeah, I mean, like I said, we were done by 2:30 at the very latest, and that's including taking breaks for lunch and stuff. And Charlie didn't even wake up till 11. Let's see, Taylor always wakes up around 8. That's when she chooses to wake up. Shelby's been getting up about 6 a.m., but she likes to take her time in the morning. So she didn't come down until, 9:30? No. Yep. So, yeah. I let my kids wake up when they wake up, and I let them start school when they're ready to start school. If they need to take breaks, they take breaks as long as everything gets done. They got all their chores done. Yeah, so I mean, there's been times where Shelby, during the school year, she babysits for a lady in town who works at the school district. And so, on the days that she works, she doesn't get to start school until, she gets done with work. And so, that's kind of the nice thing about doing it that way, where, you don't have this set schedule, that they can start homeschool later on in the evening. I remember my oldest daughter used to high school rodeo with a girl that was homeschooled, and she would spend all day training horses and riding horses, and then she said, and then when it gets too dark to ride and train the horses, that's when she would come in and start her school. Because in reality, even a high schooler shouldn't be spending more than 2 to 3 hours doing school. That's a loud plane. Charlie's school takes maybe an hour. So, even if you work full time, which is my point. So like if you work full time or you have a busy schedule, you can still have a good, successful homeschool where your kids are prepared for college or a career, when they're done. So anyway, that was all I wanted to kind of say, was that homeschool doesn't have to take all day. We're not replicating public school. Public school takes about 6 to 8 hours, depending on your school or the ages. But a lot of that time is, recess. It's, the teacher does the lesson, and then, the kids, you have to wait for all of the kids. You have to give each one of the kids enough time to complete the lesson. But you also have, the kids spend a lot of time just waiting. They're waiting to get the assignment. They're waiting for the rest of the class to finish. A lot of a public school kid's day consists of waiting. Now, I was public schooled my entire life, childhood, so I can attest to that. Yeah, I mean, it's just a lot of waiting. You're waiting to get the assignment. You're waiting for the rest of the class to finish. You're just waiting. And, the teacher has to teach. The teacher has to teach in a way that, even the kid who struggles in that subject has enough time to grasp, or enough information to grasp the concept. Whereas public school, or homeschool, as soon as they grasp the concept, they can just go on. But also we can tailor the education to the child. Charlie does better with short, to the point lessons. Whereas Taylor loves to have the instruction, and then she loves workbooks. And then Shelby, this year we decided to move away from the BJU videos. They're there if she needs them. We did order them for her, but they are just there to support. They're not there to take over. So Taylor does really well with the videos. Shelby does not do well with the videos. She gains more information from actually reading the lesson than she does listening to the lesson. So yeah, I can tailor my kids' education to them, to their goals, to their learning styles, and to their needs. And then we can just spend the rest of the day swimming if we want. So, anyway, that's all I wanted to say. I wanted to kind of give you an update as to how it's going. This is our second year using BJU for high school. So we really had a pretty good idea of what we were getting into. It is a very challenging curriculum, but not overwhelming challenging, but it is challenging. It is going to challenge them every day. It's not going to be like easy peasy and get through it type stuff. It is going to challenge them, and they are going to learn. But anyways, even though it is challenging, it's still doable. And your kid isn't going to spend all day doing lessons, even in high school, even in 11th grade. So far the kids' papers are grading really, really well. So I know that they are retaining the information. And Charlie, of course, I do everything with her. So, yeah. I know right away if there's something she's not understanding. But anyways, I just thought I'd let you know how our day 2 went, and yesterday to kind of celebrate our day one. It was too cold to swim in our pool, which is just like a Walmart pool. It was too cold to swim in our pool, so we went to an indoor pool that's close by, and then we went out to dinner, and that's kind of how we celebrated our first day of school. And of course we did the first day of school pictures. You know, Grandma loves those. So anyways, that's pretty much what I have for you. How was the second day of school, Charlie?
Good.
It was good. And thank... Yep. And the weather is warm enough to swim today, huh? Yep. Yep. So, and I guess our public school, today's the 4th of August, our public school doesn't start till the 16th. But we take a lot of days off throughout the year. And because BJU is 180 lessons, we want to our goal is to get to 160. In reality, the public school system only has maybe 120 actual education days. You know, because if you think about half days, you think about assemblies, you think about party days, all that, it adds up. So about 120, 140 of actual teaching days, and then testing. So there is testing within that, you know, time frame too. Yes, they attend 180 days, but they're not learning all 180 days. So I figure our goal this year is ultimately 180, is to finish the 180 lessons, but the realistic goal is 160. Last year we made 120, which we did, but this year I just want to be a little bit more on top of it and do our very best to hit 160. So we started on the 3rd of August just to give us a little bit of extra leeway so that we can still take those days off throughout the year. You know, sometimes it's like, let's go hang out with Grandma, you know, or let's go to a museum, which I do not count those days as school days. Some days, or some people do, but I don't count those days as school days. Those are just fun family days. So anyway, that I will do, it's not going to be an unboxing video because everything is unboxed and we've actually started using it, but there is a few things that we were waiting on from BJU Press. So as soon as that gets here, it wasn't anything that was like slowing us down, but as soon as they get here, then I will go through everything that we got from BJU Press. So Charlie is in 2nd grade, but we switched towards the end of the last school year from BJU Press back to The Good and the Beautiful for her. BJU Press was just a little overwhelming for her, and that's fine. You know, that's the beauty of homeschool, is if it's not working, you can just say, okay. But The Good and the Beautiful did work really, really well for her. She did it from preschool to kindergarten, so we decided to go back, but it was towards the end of the school year. So I wanted to make sure that there wasn't any gaps. And when I say it was overwhelming, I mean her language arts class was over an hour long. The curriculum itself wasn't overwhelming. It was the length of the classes was overwhelming for her. She was just having a really hard time sitting through it. But she has ADHD like her mom. And so, yeah, that's where we were struggling, was that she was just having a hard time sitting through the hour-long language arts class or the 45-minute math class, and then you still had assignments on top of it, which she did really well on. It wasn't that the work was too much. They really do well preparing the kids for the challenging curriculum and the challenging work, and they give you every resource to succeed, so I'm not complaining at all. And honestly, the hour-long class was her favorite class because of Mrs. Walker. So the teachers are phenomenal, and they keep the kids very entertained and happy. But like I said, it was just really, really hard for her to sit through the lessons. So that's when we decided, it's probably better to just go back to the good and the beautiful, which she loved. She loved the good and the beautiful. She loved the artwork. She loved the music. She loved, all of that. So we switched her towards the end of the school year last year back to the good and the beautiful, and we started her on level 1 in math and language arts. And instead of switching to the second grade curriculum, we went all through the summer. We kept going through the level 1, and we decided to keep going with it because she is just doing so well. Everything is coming together. She was really struggling with reading comprehension and phonics. Pretty much since preschool, I noticed that there was an issue there. But with everything that the BJU gave her, and then going back over the information, because that's basically what we're doing. When we switched over to the level 1, we were going over the information that she had learned through BJU Press, and so it's repeating it, and so now it's just oh, I get it now. And so now she's actually got quite a few words that she can read on her own. So she's getting really close to being able to read actual books. So I don't regret the time with BJU Press with her. It's just not a good fit right now. I think as she gets more independent, that's when we'll have to make the decision to switch to BJU again. Huh? Yep. Yep, that's how our first day went. But anyways, as she gets more independent in her learning, we may go back to the BJU Press for her. Shelby and Taylor will probably finish out their high school with BJU Press. It just works really well for both of them, and they enjoy all of their classes. And I feel it's challenging them and preparing them for college or, like I said, a career. But yeah, as for Charlie, right now, the good and the beautiful is the best fit for her. So anyway, that's where we are at. If you would leave me a comment below what you are using, or if you are new to homeschool, if you have any questions for me, or if you're considering homeschool, if you have any questions for me. I've had quite a few people reach out and ask me questions, and I may answer some of their questions in a video. Oh, I bumped it, sorry. I may answer their questions, even though I answered them in person. I may answer their questions in a video, just because if they're asking those questions, chances are somebody else is asking those questions. So if you have any questions below that you would like me to answer, like I said, this is our 4th year homeschooling. I'm not an expert by any means, but yeah, I mean, I definitely remember being there where you were like, I don't know if I can do this. You know, like your heart is feeling called to it, but you're just not sure. So, anyways, yeah, make sure you leave in the comments below if you have any questions that you'd like me to answer. I can do a video answering it. But yeah, that's how our day 2 went. And that's how things are going right now. I really feel like we have a really nice groove right now. I really felt like our first year we had a really nice groove. And it would have continued had we not run out of the good and the beautiful. So I'm pretty excited to hear that they are going to have all of their courses redesigned so that, you know, you can start in preschool and end in high school using just the good and the beautiful. That would have been really nice, and I'm glad that it will be available for Charlie if we continue down that route, which I think we would. I really think she does really well with it. So anyways, that's all I have for you, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Charlie says bye. She's bull riding on her sloth floaty. She just got bucked off. Okay, see ya. Bye.